talk to you about the Epoxy Poly Flake system. Okay, so the Epoxy Poly Flake system is a combination of two things. It's an epoxy 100% solids epoxy base coat with our Flow 100 flake, and then one of our poly products like Poly 90 or Poly 85 slow. So the benefits of this system is that it's typically a thicker system, and that's because of the epoxy. The epoxy goes down thicker. Okay, so epoxy is more traditional product. People like to use it. It's been around for a long time. It provides a thicker, more durable base coat floor than you'd see in a lot of like Home Depot type products. So let's dive right into how that system goes down and the benefits of using that product and really how to use that product. So the first thing is prep. Prep is like any other system that we have. It's clean, dry, and profiled. And when you profile, you really want to do as much profile as you can, like that CSP 2 to 3 or above. And that's the iCry concrete surface profile, where it talks about the depth of that profile, meaning bead blasting or dry grinding. So typically most people are dry grinding with like a metal bond tool and creating that broom-like finish in the concrete that you see in a video above me, more than likely. Finish. So after that's done, you really want to do the repairs in the concrete, any cracks that you see or major holes and whatnot. With our Instant Medic, it is a one-to-one product. You simply make small batches at a time because it's very quick, which is the benefit of the product, that you don't have to wait forever for it to cure out. One-to-one, mix it up, put it in the crack, let it dry half an hour or so, and then you again want to come back and grind it flush so everything's flush with the surface. This step here, we're applying the Epoxy Flow 100 product to the floor. So the floor is clean, dried, profiled, and you're ready to apply the product. Epoxy Flow 100 is a 2-to-1 epoxy that's 100% solids. This is the A side. This is the B side. So two to one parts. This happens to be a 3-gallon kit. Anytime you mix these products, you want to pour it into a separate bucket with a 2-to-1 ratio and mix with a drill paddle type mixer for 3 minutes, assuring the sides and the bottom and everything is mixed. As you're doing that, you're going to add a pigment for the base coat because you want a pigmented base coat. All these systems are full flake, but in case there's a little spot that you miss or the flake doesn't cover, your base coat is pigmented that goes with the flake. Typically that's either medium gray or our sun buff, which is a tan color. This happens to be medium gray. One of these size pigments, epoxy pigment, goes into the 3-gallon kit. Make sure you get the right pigment. We have other pigments for other products. This is our Epoxy Flow 100 pigment. So 1 per 3-gallon kit. You're going to mix it up. After epoxy is mixed up, you do not let it dwell in the bucket, meaning you don't let it hang out in your mixing bucket because it'll expedite the set and heat. Okay, so after you mix up epoxy, it actually performs better if you let it hang out on the floor. So you're going to pour that product out on the floor in a ribbon, and then you're going to squeegee it and back roll it. Epoxy, to squeegee, you're going to use a notched squeegee. Here we have our 1/8-inch serrated notch squeegee. That's a great option. We call it kind of our disposable squeegee, one and done. And then there's a couple other options in squeegees. This 15 to 20 mil, which goes down at 100 to 106 square feet. And this is 18 to 12 mil, which will put it down a little bit thinner to 133 to 200. This particular product for a flake system, you really kind of want to stay the 100 to 150 square feet a gallon range. So this kit would do 300 to 450 square feet as a base coat. So again, you pour it out on the floor, you squeegee it out with a squeegee of your choice, and then you run an 18-inch 3/8 snap roller through the floor. This is obviously on a stick, and you're rolling it through the floor to help level it out even further. And as you're doing that, you're walking on the floor with a spike shoe so you can walk through the product. After that is done, you have a period of time, let's just say half an hour or so. It's very temperature dependent and many things. But you want to lay the product out, and then you want to start walking back on your floor where you first started and broadcast flake to rejection as you walk yourself out. And then when you get done, you want to look at the floor and make sure there's no shiny spots on it. If there are, walk back out in spiked shoes and then go back and rebroadcast some flake. We always say with epoxy too, you might even want to wait about a half hour or so after you're done, because epoxy is a little bit thicker. Those flakes could sink just a little bit in there, especially in a low area of the concrete. It will cause a bare spot if you come back the next day or later. So maybe give it half hour or so, walk back on in spiked shoes, broadcast some more flake if you deem necessary. All right, so after your base coat's dry and you're able to walk on the surface and it's tack free, you can get out there, and you don't have to wear spiked shoes at this point because the product is not sticky. It should not be tacky. If you're going to scrape the flake, which needs to be done, this is a scraper that it actually attaches to a pole. This is, we feel, the best scraper to scrape flake with, which we sell. Scrape the flake smooth. Again, blow and back the surface clean, and now you're ready for your top coat application. So your top coat application can be done with our Poly 90 or Poly 85 Slow. These are both 1-to-1 polyaspartic products. There it is in a 10-gallon kit. Here it is in a 2-gallon kit. You're going to be around 150 square feet a gallon to do this. I like to use that number because this is very easy math. So this kit would top coat about 300 square feet on a 1/4-inch type style flake. Now, if you're doing a hybrid type style flake or an 1/8-inch flake, they do take a little bit more product because of this tinier flake to top coat. So again, this product you're going to mix up 1-to-1, drill mix 2 to 3 minutes. Unlike epoxy, this hangs out in a bucket very nice. It'll hang out in a bucket nice. And then the slow actually gives you more work time on the floor. Again, you pour it on the floor. You actually flat squeegee this product. This is a flat flexible squeegee. Pour it out on the floor, squeegee it out, and then immediately you're walking through it in your spiked shoe and 3/8 inch, 18-inch roller, back roll the product. Again, grip additives can be added. Our monkey grip is typically the most common. It's a 40 mesh type style product. And then after you roll it out, walk away from the floor, don't touch it, let it cure out, and you're done. All right, the timeline for this system, this Epoxy Poly Flake system, it's typically like this. We'll give a typical type scenario so you can understand how it goes. Let's say you're doing a 3-car garage or something of that nature, or any surface for that matter. It doesn't matter if it's 10,000 square feet. If you have the capability to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to grind and repair in the morning, and then let's say come back after lunch, after it's ground and repaired. You're going to come back after lunch, put your epoxy down and flake into that. Okay, so the cure time on the epoxy is going to be about 12 to 16 hours before you can recoat that product. So then you're going to come back the next morning and then scrape up all the flake, and then after you scrape it, leaf blow, and then you're going to clear coat it and be done. So really this system, it's more of a 2-day, I guess. We've got other systems that are a 1-day, featuring our poly type products or polyurea products like Polybase 98 and whatnot. This is a 2-day system. It's more like a day and a half because you're going to grind and repair in the morning, base and flake in the afternoon, come back the next morning, scrape and clear coat.